Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. Root Sports brings you Houston Astros baseball. Today it's Game 2 of this three-game series. The Astros meeting the Chicago White Sox. Good afternoon, everybody. Bill Brown along with Jeff Blum. Bart Ennis joins us in just a few minutes to see Game 2 after the White Sox won in 11 last night, 6-3, a long one and a test for both bullpens.
It is. It was last night going through those bullpens. The White Sox coming off that doubleheader, so that bullpen pretty exhausted. And according to baseball rules, you shouldn't win a game using that many pitchers in a 9-inning game going into that extra innings.
Yeah, it was difficult, and we'll have to see how these starting pitchers fare today to try to take the load off those pens. It'll be Jose Quintana for the White Sox and Dallas Keuchel with 6 wins going to the hill for the Astros.
Right man, right spot. This is a guy you want to have on the bump, try and break this string of that loss that they saw yesterday. Had a tough outing out there in Baltimore, but he's the right man on the right spot.
He went the distance, an 8-inning complete game in that loss. He threw a higher percentage of fastballs in that game.
Which is really bizarre to me because you see the first 9 starts on the left, 17% changeup, that slider. But what he does is he establishes that fastball in the inner half, paints it away, has good sink and cut to it. But for whatever reason, got away from that changeup a little bit. And you're going to see that he gave up 2 home runs in that game. Fastballs elevated, kind of cut back towards the middle of the plate. Stevie Pierce gets him on that second home run, but all the runs given up on that. And I'm just curious, only 1 walk in that game. Usually he's trying to work off the edges, but was throwing a lot of balls in the zone that game.
6-0 the previous 9 starts with only 1 long ball allowed and the pair of 2 two-run homers really torpedoed him, but the Astros didn't get many runs for him either. Coming up, Evan Flow. The Astros' biggest bat in the last month has come a long way after a slow start to the 2015 season. Bart Ennis chats about Evan Gattis's long-distance swings and his return to RBI relevance when we return.
Successful for Chicago today, he's going to have to effectively deal with the top and the middle of the Astros order, which has really been swinging it well lately. He's going to face Springer, then Altuve, then the rookie Preston Tucker, then the big right-handed DH Evan Gattis, who has really been on a tear lately. In fact, specifically over his last 13 games, Gattis is hitting .320 with 4 homers and 12 RBIs. He leads the team overall with 30 RBIs, and the Astros are 11-4 when Gattis drives in at least 1 run. So he is a critical part of the offensive component for the Stros. Now, a lot of people thought last year when he suffered the oblique strain that sort of put his season on hold for the Atlanta Braves for a couple of weeks, after he had carried that team for a while there, he was an RBI machine. But the injury shut him down, and then afterwards he was not really ever the same after that. And a lot of people were starting to wonder if he was still sort of feeling some effects from that injury. But over the last couple of weeks, he has answered those questions. He has really come around offensively. And hitting after Tucker, he's really helping the rookie Preston Tucker develop as a hitter as well. Tucker finds himself sandwiched between Altuve and Gattis, so he should see some good pitches to hit, and that always helps. And the fans are really starting to take to Evan Gattis as well. We're starting to see some fake beards sprinkled among the Astros faithful here. I don't know if that's for Dallas Keuchel or Evan Gattis, but they both got the good beards going, and hopefully Gattis will have the good bat going today as well. We'll be back in just a minute with starting lineups and first pitch. Stay with us.
Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Field is all ready on this Saturday afternoon, and the umpiring crew is gathered at home plate, ready for the teams to take the field for Game 2 of this 3-game series. The Astros trying to tie their best ever record for the first 50 games of the season with a win today. They are 30-19 for the first 49, and Dallas Keuchel has 6 of those wins. He's making his 11th start of the season. At home, he's been magnificent. He's 4-0 in this ballpark with a 1.32 ERA and 5 starts. In 3 of those 5 starts here at home, he is not allowed an earned run, and he really has set a tremendous tone for this pitching staff as the opening day started this year, Jeff.
Really has. He is the ace of this staff, and he is the man that they need on this hill. Stop this mini skid they have going on. Hopefully the offense steps up, drives in a couple more runs for him. He only gave up 4 in that last outing on those 2 home runs, but every once in a while you need the offense to pick you up a little bit, considering what Keuchel's done to keep this offense in ball games.
Here's the lineup now for Robin Ventura's Chicago White Sox, who are 22-25. They're in 4th place in the American League Central. Center fielder Adam Eaton is the leadoff man. Emilio Bonifacio is the DH, batting second. Avisail Garcia returns to the lineup. He's missed 5 games. He's in right field. Melky Cabrera is the cleanup man and left fielder. Adam LaRoche at first base. Alexi Ramirez, the shortstop. Gordon Beckham at third base. Giovanni Soto, the catcher today. And at second, it's rookie Carlos Sanchez.
We already talked a little bit about Dallas Keuchel. Give you some more. All you sabermetricians out there like to know that he's second in WAR with a 3.0. Win above replacement. Sonny Gray is ahead of him, I believe, with a 3.1. So pretty tight there. The opponent's slugging percentage against Keuchel, even with those 2 home runs he gave up in his last start, is at .256. Extremely low. Threw a complete game last time out there, and he still leads the AL in batting average against at 190, and he's third ERA in innings pitched.
Trying to square his lifetime record at 28-28 with a win today. And it's Adam Eaton getting ready to lead off this game. Eaton had 238, 2 homers. Last night was hit by pitches twice. He had a single going 1 for 4 in that game. And the first pitch is in for strike 1. Gabe Morales is the home plate umpire. Eaton with 2 homers. He's driven in 6 this season. Back to Keuchel. On his 33rd chance of the season, he has played errorless ball and defending his Gold Glove quite well without number 1.
Only pitcher in Astros history with a Gold Glove. Out in left field, you're going to see Preston Tucker, Jake Marisnick in center, George Springer in right field. In the infield, you're going to see actually Jonathan Villar out there at third base, while Marwin Gonzalez moves to shortstop. Altuve at second base, Chris Carter at first base, Jason Castro back behind home plate, working with Dallas Keuchel.
Switch hitting Emilio Bonifacio steps up. Keuchel dots the outside corner with strike 1 on Bonifacio. He did not play in last night's game. 213 with 3 runs batted in. And quickly he falls behind Keuchel. No balls, 2 strikes. In Dallas's career against the White Sox, he's 1-1 with a 3.97 ERA. Him out. Good downward movement.
You do not want to be a free swinger and have to face a guy like Dallas Keuchel. Everything is working off the edges, and if you have a tendency to chase, this is what's going to happen in 3 quick pitches. But you're right, Brownie. Good depth on that fastball.
Now with 2 down, Keuchel faces the 23-year-old slugger Avisail Garcia from Venezuela. One of the top young hitters in the game, grounds to short. Marwin Gonzalez makes it a 6-pitch first inning. Keuchel puts up a quick 0. George Springer returns to the leadoff spot again today. He's in right field for the Astros. He's followed by second baseman Jose Altuve. Preston Tucker bats third, playing left field. The cleanup man is DH Evan Gattis. With Chris Carter at first base, Jonathan Villar at third, Jason Castro the catcher, Marwin Gonzalez the shortstop, Jake Marisnick in center field.
Jose Quintana is on the mound for the Chicago White Sox, making his 10th start on the season. Features a fastball, cutter, curveball, changeup. So in 54 innings this year, giving up 4 bombs. Lefties are having a tough time hitting against him at $154, but those righties are raking him at .318.
George Springer ready to go. And there's strike one. George was hitless in last night's game. 0 for 4. He drew a walk in the 10th inning. The White Sox won at 6-3 in the 11th. 224 with 7 homers. He's driven in 17. And as you can see, he has settled in well in his few games as the leadoff man, hitting .333, 7 for 21. Springer's 4th in walks in the American League with 29. He has a .350 on base average. 1 ball, 2 strikes for Quintana. 26-year-old lefty from Colombia. White Sox signed him as a free agent in 2011. He had been with the Mets and the Yankees prior to that. Off the plate, and it's 2-2. Quintana, with that 4.67 ERA, has not yet hit his stride this season. Last year he wound up at 3.32 for a 200-inning season, going 9-11. Springer tops the ball wide of third and keeps the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes.
There's that breaking ball from Quintana. Throws his fastball around 91 miles an hour. Has a little bit of a cut every once in a while. Take a look back and see how he gets on the side of that. Looked like a little bit of a slurve right there. Also got a changeup around 85, 87 miles an hour. It's pretty firm for a changeup.
Time is called. Quintana's faced the Astros 4 times, and the White Sox have won all 4 of those games. He personally is 1-0 with a 3.63 ERA. That's strike 3 call. Springer standing there at home plate. 1 out.
See if Springer's got a beat. Caught that outside corner.
Jose Altuve sports a 4-game hitting streak. Jose at .303 has 5 homers. He's driven in 25. He was 2 for 4 last night during his 4-game hitting streak. 7 for 16 for Jose. Now he's ready to go. He's 5th in hits in the American League with 60. That's strike 1 for Quintana. Last night the Astros got 10 hits, but they were held to 3 runs in the 11-inning White Sox win. No balls, 2 strikes. White Sox used 5 pitchers. The Astros made use of 8 pitchers in that game last night. Altuve swings over that breaking pitch and strikes out. 2 punch outs for Quintana.
He hasn't needed him yet, but playing defense behind Quintana. Out in the outfield, Melky Cabrera in left. Adam Eaton in center field. Avisail Garcia in right field. On the left side, Gordon Beckham out there at third base. Alexi Ramirez again at shortstop. Carlos Sanchez and Adam LaRoche on the right side. And Giovanni Soto gets a start behind home plate after getting a big hit last night.
Preston Tucker comes up. He looks at the breaker, and it's ball 1 to Preston. Settling into this number 3 spot in the lineup the last few days. 3:15 for Preston. He was 2 for 5 last night. 2 doubles. This one goes back out of play, 1-1. He has been collecting doubles at a very good rate. He has 9 extra base hits in his first 17 major league games.
A.J. Hinch had some incredibly nice things to say about this young man.
Well, when a manager trusts a rookie in that number 3 spot, that does speak quite loudly, doesn't it?
Absolutely. He was given the opportunity. He's taken full advantage of it. Like you said, 9 extra base hits and those 17 hits that he does have on the season. Pretty good.
Fouls that one away, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rustin with that good college background, University of Florida, has worked his way up through the Astros system after being drafted in 2012. He's had solid numbers all the way through, and now just showing that he is belonging as a major league hitter. Struck him out. He struck out the side. Quintana puts up a 0, and it's 0-0 after 1.
It was Lance McCullers on full display. Nice little note there at the bottom. 18 strikeouts in his first 3 starts. Most by any Astros rookie since Tim Redding in 2001. Had a great fastball going last night. Racked up 7 strikeouts in 4 1/3. Got a little wild there towards the end, walking a couple batters, but still pitched quite well for the rookie. And again, A.J. Hinch, another one of those rookies on that bench or in that roster for A.J. Hinch, and he had great things to say. He said he's one of the most calm guys on the ball club when he's out there in the middle of the diamond.
0-0. We go to the 2nd inning, and it's Cabrera. Melky taking strike 1. Cabrera, a former batting champion in the National League with the Giants, checks in at 242 for this game. Back to Keuchel. Well, these pitchers are keeping it very quiet inside Minute Maid Park so far today. Not any good contact from them.
Been an electric start for the offenses here, hasn't it?
Could be one of those dominant days for both of them. Adam LaRoche follows. LaRoche last night was the DH, wound up playing first base late in the game. He drove in a run with an 11th inning single, also had a walk. 240 for Adam with 5 homers. He's driven in 21. Broken by Looper. And that one goes into the seats. And the bat goes another direction. Where'd that wind up?
Right in front of Keuchel, replacing the divot left by that spear.
Dangerous.
It was gnarly. See where he catches this, usually off the end of the bat. He blew him up right there. Getting in the kitchen. It's amazing how quickly that happens too, and that thing playing lawn darts out there.
Wow. You ever played jarts?
No, but I don't have any jorts either.
Okay. That used to be a game, kind of like lawn
really?
darts. Yeah.
Interesting. Probably make a strong comeback with everything else that's retro these days.
That's the first ball Keuchel has thrown. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. He had thrown 9 strikes to open the game. In for a strike, 1 and 2. 3 infielders between first and second base for LaRoche, who leads the American League in walks in the month of May with 21.
Tell you what, if Keuchel's able to locate like that, it's going to be a long night for White Sox hitters.
2 balls, 2 strikes. LaRoche has 9 hits during a 5-game hitting streak in 20 at-bats. And looks at a close one. Now he works the count full. Lefties are hitting 140 against Keuchel. Strike him out looking. Second punch out for Dallas.
Just a great pitch. How about that? Spotted it right on top of that second strike. Trying to figure out how he's holding that fastball because it seems to have a little bit of movement. Might be that two-seamer that runs back a little bit.
Alexi Ramirez bats. He had a double last night. Alexi taking ball 1. 230, 2 homers, 20 runs batted in. 236, that is. He's 1 for his last 15. Chop to third base. Jonathan Villar. There's the tag by Carter, but he missed. The Villar throw sailed. It's an error on the third baseman, number 7 of the year for Villar.
Valbuena, left-handed hitter, having his struggles. Usually the everyday third baseman. Villar getting a chance over there, and the reason he's there is because of that strong arm. But again, that routine play, ball just sails on him.
Carter failed to tag him. He tried to get the mitt down on him, but Ramirez was elusive, so the error gives Alexi Ramirez that opportunity to reach, and Gordon Beckham is the batter. Beckham was a big factor last night. There's strike 1. He came off the bench. He delivered a pinch sacrifice fly in the 5th inning when the White Sox took a 2-1 lead, and then he tied it with an 8th inning homer. That made it 3-3. He hit that one off Chad Qualls. Beckham shoots 1 foul. No balls, 2 strikes. So he gets the call at third base against the lefty Keuchel. Connor Gillespie started at third last night against the right-hander for Colors. Gillespie bats left. Beckham also a very good second baseman. 1-2. He was traded by the White Sox, who had drafted him in the first round. Last year they dealt him to the Angels for a stretch drive acquisition, and then they signed him back as a free agent to be more of a utility man this year. He was a college shortstop. In the dirt to Beckham. It's 2-2. Gordon 28 years old now. Jason Castro behind the plate. Hank Conger did the catching last night for Houston. Little roller goes up the first base line. There's Carter, and the tag by Carter got him. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left, no score.
called Jose Quintana as they come to bat here in the bottom of the second. The Astros and the Astros Foundation are hosting a food drive supporting the Houston Food Bank during the White Sox and Orioles series today through June 4th. Fans can participate by bringing canned goods or other non-perishable food items with them to the games. For more information, go to astros.com/food drive. Brownie, back to you.
Thank you, Bart. There's ball one to Evan Gattis, who's put together a 5-game hitting streak, and he's been an RBI machine for the last month. A shot up the middle, but right there is Sanchez, the second baseman, to get him. One of many hard hit balls we've seen throughout this season. Right near second base, but there's somebody playing there.
The shift is killing the approach that I would say every major league hitter's taught. Stay up the middle. Hit the ball hard up the middle, you're going to be successful. With these shifts and the way guys are playing, you hit a bullet up the middle, there's going to be somebody standing there.
Now Chris Carter with strike one. He's on a 6-game hitting streak. Carter also has begun to put things together. He's gone 8 for 22 in the last 6 games. 185, 7 homers, 26 driven in, 18 this month. So the numbers for May are looking pretty solid for Carter. People focus on the batting average, but it's all about run production for his position on the team. And he's driven in 14 runs in his last 14 games. Alexi Ramirez takes care of out number 2. These two pitchers are really in a nice early groove. Jonathan VR will be next.
They're going to have to replace the infield sod after this game.
Yes, they are.
Michael getting a lot of ground balls. We know that already, but the way Quintana's locating his pitches, it's going to be a high ground ball game for him, too.
The Worms are in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Jonathan VR at 261 with no homers, driven in 5. 2 for 4 last night with a double and a walk. There's ball one. In his last 15 games, VR has hit .308 with 4 doubles. Fouled away. Luis Valbuena resting today. He's a left-handed batter. VR is hitting .250 right-handed, 8 for 32. Two switch hitters are playing the left side positions on the infield. Chop slowly, and coming over to his left, Beckham makes that play. That's an 8-pitch inning, and it's 0-0.
Between the White Sox and Astros, and our Geico quote of the day is Robin Ventura on catching Tyler Flowers in the dugout last night. I think I might have saved his life. He better at least think so. I think he did.
Yeah, that was a big save for Robin, but unfortunately he tweaked his back, and he had an ice pack on his back after the game.
Well, he was putting him in a pile driver right there. Flowers going over the top turnbuckle.
0-0 as the third inning starts with Giovanni Soto, who moved in behind the plate to replace Flowers. Flowers moved to first base after that. There's ball one. Soto with 2 homers and 7 runs batted in. He had a big game last night, and he picked up a couple more runs batted in to get him to 9. That's a strike to the veteran catcher, formerly with the Cubs. Those guys who's played for both Chicago teams. Keuchel missing there, falls behind him, 2 balls and a strike. Long list of those players. Into center field, and Soto gets the first hit of this baseball game. A single for the catcher puts him aboard for Sanchez.
It's like a 4-seam grip from Keuchel, just a fastball down. Great location. You see he destroys the bat, but Giovanni wins the battle.
He's aboard, and it's the highly regarded young second baseman Sanchez batting now. Carlos, a switch hitter. Off to a slow start as a hitter, but he was hitting well in AAA. This one gets by Jason Castro. Soto moving to second base. Ball popped out of his mitt.
That was odd.
Yes, it was odd. A pass ball.
Just a good old-fashioned clank.
Now in scoring position, Soto with nobody out and a 1-0 count on Sanchez. He'll move him. Altuve took a peek at third, took the out at first, 1 down.
That's what that pass ball did, is it eliminated the possibility of the double play, which Keuchel gets quite a few of.
That was the third pass ball of the season for Castro. Now the infield moves in with Adam Eaton, the batter. He grounded back to Keuchel. Now they'll back up a little bit. Middle infielder's going to play it back. Eaton bounces one off his leg. Foul ball, strike 1. Last 19 games, Eaton's been a .304 hitter with 16 runs scored in those 19. Hit a leadoff homer in the second game of the doubleheader Thursday at Baltimore. It's a long road trip for the White Sox. They were in Toronto. They went for that 1 day and 2 games at Baltimore, 3 here, and then on to Arlington, Texas for a series. They're in a stretch of 16 of 22 on the road. 1-1. And they're 3 games under 500.
That's a tough stretch early in the season.
Yeah. 10 and 15 on the road. 2 balls and a strike. They won 8 of their last 11, though, away from U.S. Cellular. So the Royals now have worked their way back into the lead. A game in front of the Twins. Tigers are 2.5 back. Then it's the White Sox and the Indians. Since 2013, the White Sox have had the second worst road average in the majors behind Colorado. Winning percentage. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Keuchel leads the American League with a .190 batting average against him. Now the middle infielders come in with 2 strikes on the hitter. And struck him out. Positioning irrelevant when Keuchel does that.
Just not fair.
Third punch out.
A great job on the location, and that slider, he has such good command of not only the location on where he wants to throw it, but at what pace he wants to throw it in there too.
That's a very good point. Eaton was really off balance. Bonifacio comes up. He flailed at 3 pitches first time up. And that's strike 1. Keuchel had a career-long 8-game winning streak from last season that ended last time out in that loss at Baltimore. Pitcher of the month in April in the American League. 0-2. The Astros had not had a pitcher win that award since Wandy Rodriguez back in the National League days in July of 2009. His ERA for April was 0.73. He's still third best in the American League at 1.98 for the year. In the dirt, the appeal went and it was denied. David Rackley indicating a check swing for Bonifacio. 1-2.
This guy's in swing mode. My goodness. Which is interesting because Keuchel is he doesn't give in.
Right.
Just keep trying to tease you and entice you to swing at his pitches, and Bonifacio's doing that.
He wouldn't go out that far, and it's 2-2 now. Bonifacio's played just about every position on the field. Last year he played 7 different positions. He was with the Cubs in Atlanta. 30 years old, from the Dominican. And he got him on strikes on a foul tip. It's 4 punch-outs. Great job by Keuchel with the runner stranded at third base. 0-0.
Picnic in the Park with your Astro players on Sunday, June 14th, presented by Cisco. Picnic in the Park features a picnic buffet in the Minute Maid Park outfield, an autograph session with Astros players, and family-friendly activities. To purchase tickets, visit astros.com/picnic.
And that was a scene from the Bayou Bash. Great time was had by all there. 0-0. The Astros come up in the third inning against Quintana, one of 3 White Sox lefty starters they're facing this weekend. Jason Castro in the box. That one almost clipped him on the right elbow. It's ball 1 to Jason. 226 for Jason. 4 for 13 though against this lefty. That one comes in to even the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. Castro's a .282 career hitter against the Sox with 4 homers, 10 runs batted in. Quintana's been a 9-game winner each of the last 2 seasons with Chicago. Foul back, 1-2. Well, last night, Carlos Rodon had a very good start. 6 of the third innings, 1 earned run. He was starting for the first time in 9 days. The pitching coach, Don Cooper, we were talking about him last night, Blummer. Well established. One of the top pitching coaches around. Had worked with Rodon on his mechanics and some bullpens in between starts. Results were very good. White Sox have to be encouraged by the newest addition from the left side to their starting rotation.
Yeah, if they get hot, they may have to consider pitching him a little more frequently. Just interesting to see the rotation, what Cooper's working with. 4 lefties in that starting rotation. That's pretty rare.
Yes, it is rare. There's a punch out. Well, this lefty has retired 7 in a row to start the game. Chris Sale was electric 2 days ago in the doubleheader in Baltimore.
Two-seam fastball up in the zone. Castro upset with himself for chasing that one.
Tomorrow's lefty du jour for the White Sox will be Austin native John Danks against Roberto Hernandez with a 1:10 start time tomorrow. Marwin Gonzalez has had good results from the right side this season. That's strike 1 to Marwin. And the switch hitter, as a right-handed batter, is hitting .346, 9 for 26 overall, in the mid 240s with 2 homers, 12 runs batted in. It's about a half a swing, and it's 0-2. Pitchers love to see those swings.
Yeah, half swing for a full strike.
Yeah. Discount rate.
Well, you know your stuff's pretty effective, and you try and look around the ballpark at these 3:10 starts. Normally at other ballparks create shadows and issues like that. None here today with the roof closed.
He chased and struck out. 5 punch outs.
Clouds rolling in out there beyond the windows, but really no effect here in the ballpark. It's always beautiful here in Minute Maid.
Outside, mid-80s for a high and forecast of rain. Jake Marisnick will try to break this string. Quintana has retired the first 8. .263 for Jake with 3 homers. He's driven in 16. Taps that one foul. He was 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts last night. These two teams split their season series 3 games each a year ago. Way up, and it's 1-1. Well, there was a rain-shortened no-hitter for the Astros Double-A Corpus Christi club last night. Chris Davinsky and Josh Hader. Davinsky went 5, Hader went 1/3 of an inning, and they collaborated on the first ever Hooks no-hitter. On the road at Arkansas, it was only, of course, a game shortened to 5 1/3 innings, but nonetheless they gave up no hits, and they got Colin Moran back in the lineup at third base. From his facial fracture, he was hit in the face by a thrown ball when he was a base runner a few weeks ago. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Hooks continue to blaze a very nice trail, a record similar to the Astros.
Minor league system's pretty impressive. There's Hader.
He was minor league pitcher of the year last year in the Astros system. Fouled back by Marisnick. He stays alive at 2-2.
You have to see Marisnick's splits.
Yes.
318 against righties, 163 against lefties.
Yeah, that's hard to figure.
It is.
Shot foul. Still early in the season, and Jake has not had a full season of major league play. But yes, those are odd splits. Fouled away. If the Astros win, they'll be 31-19. That would be only the second club in Astros history to go 31-19 through the first 50 games. The '98 Astros did it, and they went on to win 102. Best win total any Astros team has ever had. In for a ball, and it's 3-2. They have a 5-game lead on the Angels, 5.5 on Seattle. Both of those clubs gained a game on the Astros last night. There's a walk and the first base runner for the Astros. Let's get your thoughts on this division right now, Jeff Blum.
Well, I think it's a 4-team race. I just think it's going to be interesting. They did a lot of pounding on each other that first month of the season, facing each other quite a bit. Probably won't see that again until August and September, but so it'll be interesting to see how some of these injuries turn about. To be interesting to see how the Rangers produce, having Josh Hamilton back in that lineup.
Yep.
There's a lot of good stories happening around that AL West. Good ball clubs, good pitching, good hitting.
May not be such a weak division after all. George Springer struck out looking. Marisnick is 9 for 12 in steals. He just drew a throw. Soto's thrown out 2 of 11. And there's strike 1. Well, Scott Feldman went on the disabled list. Right knee surgery for Scott. And he's expected back, well, in probably 4 to 6 weeks was the report we got. And the Seattle lefty James Paxton also went on the disabled list last night.
It's 2 years in a row they've been counting on that young man, and he's gone on the DL.
Marisnick takes off, pitch out, Soto with the throw, and he's safe. The ball gets away from Sanchez there at second base. The throw was there in good shape, but Sanchez just failed to hold on as Marisnick was safe.
Yeah, the White Sox guessed right on that pitch out, knowing Jake Marisnick was going to go. Quintana gave him a good pitch to throw on. Great throw down there to second base. Just Sanchez tried to make the tag too quick before catching the ball. Hit him in a bad spot.
Yeah.
Take that back.
He tried to be quick with that tag. Now the pitch is inside to Springer. That makes it 2-1. Well, the official score could give an error on Sanchez. We have not seen that, though. He did not do it. Stolen base. Number 10 for Marisnick. And it was going to be close, so it wasn't given that he would have been able to tag him out. 2-2 to George.
Good time to run, too. If he's throwing out, George Springer's leading off the next inning. No big deal. If he makes it, now obviously he's in scoring position.
Now full count. Altuve on deck. White Sox have the 12th best ERA in the 15-team American League. Springer fouls it back. The Astros have hit .215 as a team at home, scoring 93 runs in 26 games. They just have not been able to get their offense revved up, although on the last homestand they were 7-2.
Just all about pitching, defense, and timely hitting for these Astros. They're not going to go out there and lay 15 hits on you a night.
Springer takes a walk. 8 straight retired, now back-to-back walks. James Paxton joins Iwakuma on the disabled list. Colin Cowgill for the Angels on the DL. Mark Krause designated for assignment. Sean Doolittle and Ben Zobrist, meanwhile, come back to the A's from the disabled list. And the Rangers are 8-2 in the last 10.
Here's a question. How long are Doolittle and Zobrist going to stay in Oakland?
That's a very good question.
The way their record's starting to pan out, and if their season continues to tank, those guys might be on the block.
They might be. Jose Altuve is the Astros' best hitter this season with runners in scoring position. He has 2 on and 2 outs. He struck out in the first inning. Preston Tucker's on deck. Altuve is hitting .379 with runners in scoring position. It's in tight and it's ball 1.
Andy's hitting .421 coming into this game off left-handed hitters, so there's like a 900% chance he's going to drive this one in.
On the 25th pitch of the inning, it's ball 2, and it's been strange because Quintana was mowing down this Astros order 8 straight, then worked the count full. Marisnik 3-2, drew a walk. Springer on 3-2, drew a walk. Now he's 2-0 to Altuve. Both these pitchers have similar career records. Keuchel 27 and 28. Quintana 26 and 29. The shot, diving play. Beckham gets up and throws him out. Gordon Beckham makes a sparkling play to his left. And it's no runs, no hits, 2 men stranded, no score after 3.
Clean up, aisle 7.
Soon in the distance. Nice to have a roof, Jeff Blum.
Yeah. I think if you and I were co-commissioners of baseball, I think our first rule would be to put a retractable roof on every stadium in America.
Ooh, wouldn't that be nice?
Just guaranteed, know you're going to play the game at the time it's supposed to be played.
You know the pitchers would be happy.
Oh.
They're in a nice groove in this one. Total of only 1 hit in the game. There's strike 1 to Avi Garcia. Grounded out to shortstop on the first pitch in the first inning. And now he's taking. But it's a strike. He apparently wasn't taking. He swung. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it all depends on who you ask.
Did you see a swing there?
Not really. I'm appreciative of the call, but
Guy's a top-notch young hitter, though. And he struck him out. That's 5 for Keuchel.
It's so spoiled watching a guy like Dallas Keuchel. Good job getting ahead in the count and then just throw it off the edge, let it sink away, and you get the swing and miss. It's that 2-seam fastball.
Melky Cabrera follows. There's strike 1. We say that a lot with Dallas Keuchel. Strike 1. Liner into right field for a hit. Cabrera gets hit number 2 of the game. He's aboard for Adam LaRoche. 0-0 ball game. Glad you're with us today here in the 4th inning at Minute Maid Park on Root Sports. Bill Brown, Jeff Blum, Bart Ennis with you today. Alan Ashby has the weekend off, as does Julia Morales. Plummer gets to work a home series.
Yes.
Adam LaRoche struck out looking in the second inning. You're always welcome. Minute Maid Park.
Love being here. Love playing here. Love being here. Got the best seat in the house now.
Best seat, isn't it?
And traveling and doing all the broadcasting and seeing the booths and different angles, this is one of the best.
It is. What's your favorite venue on the road?
I'm a big fan of Seattle, Anaheim, but I think you're going on the road to Minnesota.
Yeah.
And that is all the way around, from the people who are working there, the media dining, the stadium, and it's all of its beauty. Great booth.
Good.
Minnesota is definitely up there.
2 balls and a strike.
And we always pick the right times to go through there.
We're late August, right?
Yes, perfect timing.
Good time to be there.
Don't want to be there in April or May. Don't want to be there in September. It's a little chilly.
Well, you talked about it would be nice to have a roof on all stadiums.
That place would have made sense.
Going there in April and May, yeah. 2-2, and the reason it wasn't equipped with a roof is the expense of the roof.
That's usually what it is. Well, in our co-commissioner, we'd have that that fund that would be able to maybe donate to the cause a little bit.
A central fund?
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe offset some of the costs.
Well, maybe we can talk to our friends at FIFA and find out how to
They've got a couple
organize
dollars
that.
left over.
Yeah. They can work it out for us. Struck him out. That's number 6. Good ball game today.
Very well pitched. Extremely uncomfortable at bat for left-handed hitters off Dallas Keuchel with that big sweeping slider. Hasn't really had to throw that nice hard one, but we've seen a couple punch-outs on left-handed hitters with sliders.
Alexi Ramirez reached on the error by Jonathan Villar. There is strike one. Well, last night was the opener of this homestand. 7-game homestand. The Astros coming back from a week-long road trip. And there wasn't one local television station represented here last night before the game by a camera crew. And none today again.
Do they not own televisions or newspapers at home?
Kind of odd. No balls, 2 strikes for the first place club coming back home.
I was fortunate enough to play on some pretty good teams throughout the course of my career, and players in that clubhouse, they notice that.
Oh, they should.
They know when you're showing up. They know when you're not showing up. They know who's there on a consistent basis. It was always funny. You'd be there and, get after that All-Star break when things start to heat up and there's maybe a little more attention put on it. But August and September, when those guys start showing up, you'd get the Billy Wagners and the some of those salty veterans that are just like, oh, now you show up. Good to see you. Where you been all year?
Right.
So it gets kind of funny in that sense for some of the players.
Yeah. 1-2. Well, we were talking last night about the national publicity the Astros have been garnering. They were front page of the sports section on USA Today yesterday, and they have a spread in Sports Illustrated this week.
Well deserved.
So, yeah, many people catching on to this team. He struck him out. That's number 7 for Dallas Keuchel, who keeps it scoreless after 3.5.
ex-teammates. Tino Martinez. Imagine that. Tino Martinez raking a World Series home run. Byung-Hyun Kim, he had a tough series, even though Arizona came back to win that World Series 2001. That was a big year. But the man put up some great numbers, played an extremely long time, 16 years. I was with him on that glorious team with Lou Piniella with the Devil Rays. Pretty good career numbers.
Now Preston Tucker with strike one.
And this is why we compared him. I saw Preston Tucker swing, and I initially thought Tino Martinez. See a similar leg kick, similar bat path. How about that finish on the home run? Eerily similar.
It is. Good comparison. All the way, and it's 0-2. Brett Oberholzer will start Monday night. Baltimore comes in for the next series. He pitched a bullpen yesterday with the AAA Fresno club, and he's traveling into Houston this weekend. So a move will have to be made to get him on the 25-man roster for Monday. And that move will probably be announced on Monday. Michael Feliz was just called up from the minor leagues last night. He came up from AA Corpus Christi. And A.J. Hinch did not want to use him in that tight extra inning game last night for his major league debut, but he's available. In tight, and it would seem that Michael Feliz is in line for more seasoning. It would seem that the short-term plan, which the Astros are not really announcing, would be for him to be available only over the weekend and swap him out for Oberholzer, but there may be extenuating circumstances that prevent that. Who knows? That's dumped into shallow left field. That's a thing of beauty for Tucker. Well, he gets the first hit, and the Astros would take a hit of any kind in this type game.
The French Open is going right now, so why not have a little lob shot out there behind the third baseman? The way Preston Tucker's going right now, all he has to do is touch it. What a good job of staying on the ball. Just a nubber off the end of the bat. See, kids, you don't have to crush the ball every time for a base hit.
Nope. He's on the board, as Hawk Harrelson would say. Evan Gattis is the batter. He bounced up the middle, but the second baseman Sanchez was waiting to throw him out. Hit the ball pretty well first time. This one goes the other way against the shift, and Tucker goes first to third. Here's the gun of Garcia. It's cut off, and now they got a rundown going on Gattis. And Alexi Ramirez throws to LaRoche, who tags him out. That's heads-up baseball by the White Sox. Garcia, who has 6 outfield assists, has an absolute rifle. He shot that low throw in, and it was cut off by Alexi Ramirez, who started the rundown and got Gattis.
I think Gattis was actually forcefully willing this ball over to that right side, knowing where they were playing him. Gutsy play by Preston Tucker, because you just hinted at it. Avisail Garcia has a cannon for an arm. I don't think there was really a reason for Evan Gattis to get that far off first base.
True.
No reason to draw the throw away from a guy trying to get to third base.
Infield in for Chris Carter now. Ball one down and in. The play went 9-6-3. Gattis.
See him watching the play in front of him, watch the throw. Just kind of got stuck in no man's land.
Yep.
It's a collision of beards.
In for a strike on Carter, and it's 1-1. Big situation here in a scoreless game. Runner at third and one out. White Sox had a runner at third and one out in the third, and Keuchel struck out Eaton and Bonifacio. Carter not chasing, works the count to 2-1. Things have started to turn for Chris. 6 out of 10 times that runner from third has come in with less than 2 outs with him at the plate. He takes that one, and it's 3-1 to Chris. He's a .338 lifetime hitter against the Sox. With 6 homers, 14 runs batted in. 3-2 now. Carter's driven in runs in each of the last 4 games during his 6-game hitting streak. 8 for 22, 6 runs batted in. Now with 2 strikes and 3 balls, we'll see what happens. He takes ball 4. That's the 3rd walk for Quintana.
It was an interesting scenario for me to watch unfold. Chris Carter has been driving the ball well in recent days, and you got Jonathan Villar protecting him and a base open. So I was kind of curious to see how Quintana was going to go about it. I'm not shocked that Chris Carter walked, because given the 2 guys, you'd rather face Jonathan Villar than Chris Carter in that situation. But good job by Chris getting on base.
Villar grounded to 3rd in the 2nd inning when Quintana had 3 ground ball outs after he struck out the side in the 1st. Jason Castro's on deck. Ball 1 to Villar.
Villar runs well, tough guy to double up. 1st and 3rd situation, we've seen that semi-safety squeeze put on where the hitter will bunt the ball towards 1st to get that runner home. All kinds of options.
Villar looks at ball 2. Soto to the mound.
Settle the young man down, reassure him that he's got the stuff to get the outs. But Villar is in a good position right here, 2-0.
Now 3-0 to Jonathan Villar, with Castro waiting next.
I'd just see a better pitch than that on a 2-0 count.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to argue with the slider, because we've seen it a lot in recent years, but 2-0, you'd like to see that get me over one where you force him to throw a strike.
Ooh, green light. 3 balls and a strike.
Ball 4, Brownie? Yep. Get that 3-0 green light, get excited. You want to help the ball club out. Have a tendency to chase.
Now back. 3-2. AJ, though, it's a pretty loose style, doesn't he, as far as giving the players the opportunity to do their thing.
And he wants to see if they can do it. You know, you can't blame the guy. You want to go out there and see what these guys can do. It's still relatively early in the season, 50 games in. You want to see how they handle that situation, so when you get down in that stretch run, you know whether or not to give that kid the green light.
4th full count for Quintana. Throws to 1st on Carter. Of the 66 pitches, he has thrown 38 strikes.
Sure if this is a running situation with Chris Carter at 1st, Villar at home.
Still a full count, and the battle continues here. A lot of guys, when they get that green light on 3-0, and you said it, they get excited about it. Doesn't happen all that often, and they're just so anxious to swing the bat that they don't make sure the pitch is a good one to hit.
Yeah, you kind of, I don't know how to explain it. The swing gets a little bit bigger when you know you're in swing mode.
A drive to left field. Tucker's tagging. Melky Cabrera in for the catch and throw. Fires to the plate, and on short hop, it's Tucker scoring. 1-0 Houston. Tough throw for Soto to handle. It came in on the short hop, and Tucker slid into him. Sacrifice fly for Villar. Carter going to 2nd. That's the 6th run batted in for Villar. And Villar winds up doing the job well.
Got a hanging off speed pitch. He does essentially pop this ball up. But Preston Tucker, I love the aggressiveness of this kid. We're getting to see every aspect of this game. Times it well, knowing Melky's got a fantastic arm. This ball just short hops Giovanni Soto. But how about how well Tucker went into the plate, too? I like it.
Yes.
Not afraid of contact. Force that catcher to make the play. That's what you got to do on those plays. Make the defense, make the play.
Jason Castro with strike one. VR gets the RBI. Cabrera threw out Jose Altuve at the plate last night with a very good throw. And he got back behind the ball. Had good style and got something on the throw, but it was just a tough bounce for the catcher to handle. Just wondering, as we saw that play at the plate, Blummer, with the catcher Soto, he was blocking the plate, but he didn't have the baseball.
Yeah, I think I'm still trying to figure out how they interpret that rule.
I'm not so sure that if he had tagged him out, the ruling wouldn't have been safe because he was blocking the plate without the ball.
I agree.
We'll never know. Take a look at it.
Does it kind of teach that catcher to get that left foot at the point of the plate that's pointing towards third base so they can leave that outer half of the plate for the base runner? But you can see as that ball comes in, he kind of creeps in front of the whole thing.
Well, maybe they would rule that he left a small sliding lane, but it wasn't much. Rolled out to second. Sanchez over to LaRoche. And the Astros hustle their way to a run on 2 hits. VR with a big sac fly. Melky Cabrera in for the catch. Something on the throw. Soto unable to handle it. And Tucker scores. 1-0 Houston. They love it at Minute Maid Park.
Hey, join Orbit for a birthday celebration alien style. Tomorrow, 10,000 fans will receive Orbit face glasses presented by the Smile Generation. For more information, go to astros.com/Orbit birthday or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Did you guys get an invitation to Orbit's birthday party?
We did not. We feel snubbed.
I think that's a slight.
It is. I'm not in town that often, and I didn't get one.
Right, I know. I'm going to have to take it up with him next time I see him.
Bet Julia got one.
I bet she did.
We can use hers. 1-0 Astros. Gordon Beckham leads it off. And there's strike one. Beckham grounded out in the second inning. The sac fly by VR was the first fly ball out of this game. Keuchel gets a swing there and a foul tip. An 0-2 count on Beckham. Keuchel with 7 strikeouts, nearing his season high of 8 May 4th against Texas. His career high 9 against the Angels in September of 2013. Soft liner over Marwin Gonzalez into left center. Hit number 3 for the Pale Hose. Beckham's having a nice series with the bat.
Similar to Preston Tucker's base hit. See that changeup grip dying away. Just reach out there and poke it.
The White Sox don't do much running. They're dead last with 13 steals in the American League. At strike one to Soto. Soto with a single to center field in the third inning. Got the first hit of the day. The White Sox have 3 hits. The Astros have 2. The Rockies lead the Phillies 4-1 in the bottom of the 7th at Philadelphia. It's 1-1. Rang pitching for the Phillies. Big Ryan Howard hit his 11th double and drove in his 25th run. Rumors he might be going to St. Louis. That's a big contract, though.
Yeah, that's a hefty piece of luggage he's hauling around with him.
If the Phillies unload Howard and Cole Hamels, they are really unloading a ton of payroll. Of course, they may have to pay part of it.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to have to eat a little bit of it, but still unloading that much payroll, they probably feel would be a nice thing.
2-2. It would be hard to visualize the Phillies trading Cole Hamels, who is owed, we're told, about $90 million for the next 3 years, and getting prospects back in return without having to pay part of his salary, right?
Yeah, it seems a little one-sided.
Eichel missing, goes to a full count on Soto now. Tampa Bay's up on Baltimore 3-0. They're in the top of the 6th at Baltimore. Baltimore will be headed here to open a series Monday night. Wei-Yin Chen pitching for the Birds against Erasmo Ramirez for Tampa Bay. Runner going, and it's fouled. Beckham took off on the 3-2 delivery. Trying to stay out of a double play, and Soto is certainly a candidate to hit into one, although he's grounded into only one so far this year.
You're saying that just because he's a catcher.
Well, you're right. The old stigma of every catcher being slow, right? But he is. Fly ball right field. Springer goes for it. Springer with a catch. Double play chance. Here's the throw back to Carter, and they get him easily. A 9-3 double play. Well, they didn't stay out of the double play, even though he hit it in the air.
That's not the double play you were talking about, Brownie?
That's not the one. But it works for the Astros.
Yeah, it's not like Keuchel to get a double play in the air, but with the runner moving like that, Springer's good range turns into an easy double play.
Oops. That's what the base runner says right there.
Yeah, and he actually did the right thing. When he's stealing that count, you're looking in, see where that ball is hit, but I'm sure he assumed that that ball might have gotten down.
Sure. Now Sanchez takes, and there's ball one. Well, Dallas Keuchel is known for getting double play balls. He just got another one. One ball, one strike. Certainly understandable, though, why Robin Ventura would want to start his base runner.
Hey, you run to stay out of one double play, and you end up in it.
2 balls, 1 strike. It's the 3rd outfield assist for George Springer. All ball, third base side, takes the count to 2-2. Steven Souza Jr. hit his 9th home run for Tampa Bay today. Both the Rays and the Orioles a game below 500. Three and two. Remember the politician H. Ross Perot? He was running for president one year. He referred to that giant sucking sound. Well, That might be the sound of all major league teams being pulled back to 500. Marisnik out in right center, cruises over for the running catch. No runs ahead, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, 1-0 Houston.
The 5th, that means it's time for our progressive fans of the game. Today we have a very special group of ladies. They are Gold Star mothers. They are moms who have lost children to military service to our country. Could you ladies please introduce yourselves?
Susie Miller,
Peggy Slay, Christine St. Michael,
Jewel Aston.
Kathy Strauss.
Thanks for being with us, ladies. You can be the spokesman, okay?
Oh, that's not fair.
I know, sorry, I'm springing it on you. It's so difficult and leaves a huge hole in your life to lose a child to any kind of death, but military service especially. Does it make it, how great is it for you to have an organization like the Astros recognize how difficult that is for parents, for families, and bring you guys out here to honor you this way?
I think it's wonderful that people remember our children, and it's not just our children, but everybody that has served in the service, whether they've been deceased or whether they're still alive. It's very important that people remember they wouldn't have the freedom without those men and women that are willing to do that.
And you have to have a community that understands that and is willing to give you guys the recognition and the respect you guys deserve. Does that soften the blow at all?
Absolutely. Anything that gives exposure and reminders to that our children were here and what they did. Absolutely.
Well, it's certainly great to have all of you out here today. All big Astros fans, right?
Woo!
They're loud, and they've all got their shirts on to prove it. Ladies, thank you for being with us. You are collectively our progressive fans of the game. And thank you for the service you and your families have made to the country.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great group of ladies out here. Brownie, back to you.
Thank you, Barn. Marwin Gonzalez batting. It's 1-0 Astros as he leads off the home 5th inning. He struck out in the 3rd. Marisnik on deck, and then Springer due up 3rd. And it's still 1-2 for Jose Quintana. Pretty unusual, as you said earlier, for a major league club to have 4 lefty starters in a 5-man rotation. The only guy who goes against the grain, right-hander Jeff Samardzija. Out to left center field. Adam Eaton back. 1 out.
Yeah, that's no picnic either, facing a guy like Samardzija.
Jake Marisnik threw a walk, stole a base in the 3rd inning. And then Gordon Beckham came up with a big play with 2 on and 2 outs, diving to his left and throwing out Altuve. The VR sac fly in the 4th inning has provided the only run of this game. That's in for strike 1 to Marisnick. 10 years ago, these two teams played in the World Series. Fly ball out to Eaton in center field. 2 down. The White Sox swept that World Series in 4 games. George Springer's the batter. He struck out looking and he walked. You guys celebrated right here in this ballpark, Blummer. What was that like?
It was a relief. That was one of the more exhausting World Series I think ever played. And I don't think it gets enough credit on both sides because, like you said, it was a sweep, because 4 games won. But the run differential is what nobody ever talks about. There was only a 6-run differential, so it was a pretty well played game on both sides of that diamond. And there were so many contributing factors that we needed to go our way. You talked about the Brad Lidge home run that Albert Pujols hit off him. If he doesn't hit that home run, Roy Oswalt starts game 1.
Right.
And that changes the complete dynamic of that World Series.
Yes.
Instead, we faced Roger Clemens in a ice cold weather up there. His hamstring, I believe, is what ailed him and brought him out of that game. So we got into the bullpen. But I thought it was an extremely well played game, or well played series. Brandon Backey in that game 4. Pitched extremely well.
3-1, and it was surprising that Roy Oswalt had a lead in the early innings over the White Sox here in that 3rd game, and White Sox came back and won.
There were a lot of runs scored. I believe it was game 1.
Yeah, that was chilly and rainy baseball up in Chicago that year.
There's been a handful of times I've been thankful I was not on the field for a game, and that game 1 and 2 I was extremely thankful I had sweatshirts and fleece and beanies and gloves and had a clubhouse to run up into because it was freezing. 32 and sleet.
Who was the leader of that club? White Sox.
Paul Konerko, by far one of the greatest human beings I know, one of the greatest ball players I got to play with. Jermaine Dye, the MVP, but for me, the MVP of that series and maybe that entire postseason for me was Joe Creedy, the 3rd baseman. Some of the plays he was making at 3rd base were Brooks Robinson-esque for me, and he had some big clutch hits. He had a big hit in the Angels series to propel us through the ALCS. But just a good group of guys on that ball club.
Jose Altuve, the batter, as the throw goes over on Springer. Springer could be running here with 2 outs.
You were probably expecting me to say A.J. Brzezinski.
No. Definitely not.
Oh, that's good.
Well, the pitching was something, though, for the White Sox that year with Contreras and Burley and those guys.
Oh, there was just masterful performances. El Duque came out of the bullpen in Boston in I guess it's the ALDS, and had the bases loaded, nobody out, struck out the side, had an epic at bat against Johnny Damon. And then we go into Anaheim and sweep them. Well, we didn't sweep them. We took 4 out of 5 from them, but it was 4 complete games to win that series.
Yeah. That was truly amazing in this day and age to have those complete games in postseason.
Yeah, the Angels still had that ball club that was still just a couple years removed from their world championship.
See Quintana just kind of balanced there. He hasn't been doing that, has he?
No, that was bizarre. Andy Pettit was a great guy that had that, kind of could hold that leg kick a little bit, read what the base runner was doing, and pick over. But we haven't seen that from Quintana. That was new.
It was almost a Japanese style of delivery where they balance.
Good call.
Bouncer back to Quintana. He tosses out Altuve. No runs, no hits, and a man stranded after 5, 1-0 Houston.
That's 0 for the White Sox. They've got nothing, but we've got a pitch by pitch. It's going to be presented by your local steel dealers. Last time Adam Eaton was up there against Dallas Keuchel. Got a great fastball on the outside, fouled it off. Elevated, but he goes right back to that outside corner trying to get him to chase. Doesn't. Perfectly placed fastball to get back in the count, and then just a filthy slider to put Adam Eaton away with the runner in scoring position. Excellent execution is what you could say about Dallas Keuchel today.
He may need to continue to do that for a while. He leads it only 1-0. Adam Eaton coming up. He's 0 for 2. And taking strike one. Keuchel has allowed the White Sox only 3 singles. Eaton tried to check his swing. The appeal went down to Joe West, who indicated that he did, and it's 1-1.
Good job of Eaton laying off that slider. That's the one that punched him out.
Keuchel has started both of the Astros shutout wins this year. That's a close one. 2-1. Beat Corey Kluber in Cleveland 2-0 opening day here.
Ooh, good take. Tough to take that pitch.
White Sox have lefty Dan Jennings warming up in their bullpen. And Dallas won a 4-0 game here over the Angels April 18th. He's doing some shadow work. Three and 2. What's that all about, Blummer?
He doesn't have any friends. Hanging out with himself.
Can't get anybody to catch him.
No, I think it's just a lot of imagery, positive reinforcement, I'm sure. Slow things down a little bit. Kind of like hitting off the tee for hitters.
Rock him out looking. Eaton tossed the bat away, but he'll have to go back in that same direction. That's out number 1. That's 8 punch outs to tie his single game high this year.
He's got the paintbrush out today, that is for sure.
One away from his major league high, 9 in a game. He's done that twice. Bonifacio has been a whiff victim twice. With that bunt look, he takes ball 1. Villar's pinching in, as is Carter. Altuve really shortened up at second base. It goes to short. Marlon Gonzalez. 2 down. There's a flash of lightning out there in the distance to the west as that play was made.
How about how well Dallas Keuchel does pitching away from the barrel of hitters?
Well, it's just something to watch, isn't it? It's artistry.
It truly is. It's becoming that, because if you looked at the scouting reports and you saw a left-hander throwing 90 miles an hour with just a slider and changeup, you're like, oh, we're going to go out there, we got a chance. But he has such a good 3-pitch mix of locating in the zone, out of the zone, getting guys to chase. He's got deception. Just incredible stuff.
Strike 1 to Garcia.
I personally am excited to see him bouncing back after he only gave up 4 runs in that last start. 2 home runs drove in those 4 runs, but this is what you become to expect from Keuchel, is have these bounce back games where he doesn't let it affect him.
Yep. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's become that good.
Gets deep into ball games, becoming that guy. If you're in the bullpen, you just kind of chill out, hang out till about the 7th, 8th innings if you need to.
You would have to be on anybody's American League All-Star team right now.
Might be one of those guys who gets considered to start.
Might be
an All-Star game.
2-1. A lot of that would depend on when he had pitched most recently prior to the game.
The ERA dropping.
That's another facet about this Astros season that is quite a change. That's a shot into right field. Fielded by Springer. A 2-out single by Garcia. Hit number 4. And Melky Cabrera will follow. Jose Abreu is out with inflammation of his right index finger. And Garcia was out last night. Garcia had missed 5 games with right knee inflammation. The Sox have been unable to get their 2 big sluggers in this lineup back to back. Cabrera singled to right in the 4th. There's a strike. Abreu is considered to be day-to-day. But apparently that high throw he made when Rodon was covering first was because he couldn't get a feel in his fingers after the at-bat he had earlier in the game when the inflammation was aggravated, and that stems back from something that happened a couple of weeks ago. He went for x-rays apparently, but they were negative. 1-1 to Cabrera.
Some of those nagging injuries that just last quite a while when you're playing every day like baseball. Use your hands on everything you do.
1-2. If you have an injury like that, let's say it's a deep bone bruise or something, that's in baseball you play with that, but it's got to be a constant reminder that it's there.
Yeah. You always know it's there, and you know who's on the mound and who's going to affect it the most. You know which swings are going to hurt, which ones aren't. And it just seems to drag on for a long time.
Altuve on the broken bat roller. And Garcia is tagged out for out number 3. No runs ahead and a man left. 1-0 Houston in the 6th.
Move to the bottom of the 6th here. Hey, the 2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot is open, and for the first time ever, it's online only. Vote for your favorite Astros today by visiting astros.com/vote. And you know, Preston Tucker is just playing his 18th big league game today, so he's not going to be on that All-Star ballot, but you get the feeling that if he had broken spring training with the big league club, he just might be on it the way he's been playing. Talking to A.J. Hinch before the game, he said he's very impressed with this young man, the way he goes up to the plate with a plan, sticks to the plan, he makes adjustments on the fly. He's just a very confident hitter. When I talked to Preston about that, he said it's great for him to get all these at-bats, to get a chance to feel comfortable out there, to get his timing and his rhythm down, and he has produced accordingly, guys.
There's room for a hot bat in this lineup. If fouls it, it's 0-2, and he has worked his way in. The players, of course, on a team like this, a first-place club, show up every day if their name's not in the lineup. They know that grousing about it does not play well in that clubhouse. It's all about the team.
There's one thing.
Wow. There's another one, Blummer. Takes it to left field with a 2-strike hit again.
And that's the best point right there, is that he did it again with 2 strikes. He's not afraid to let that ball get deep, get blown up, put the ball in play, and good things happen. But the maturity on this kid right now is pretty impressive. And you were talking about the issues that sometimes this might create in a clubhouse. I think winning is usually the cure of all evil and it'll mask some things on the outside. But there's something about a clubhouse. You're not going to fool a clubhouse. They know exactly who you are. They see you on a daily basis, and they'll correct that inside the clubhouse if there are any issues. But up to this point, it seems to be a pretty good mix in that clubhouse, and these guys are playing good baseball.
Tucker attracts a little attention from Quintana with Gaddis the batter. Gaddis single to right field in the fourth. He's 1 for 2. And Evan has taken a lot of his hits to right field in the last 10 days or so. He's really been emphasizing that approach. He looks at ball 1.
Well, I really think that's why some of the successes in Evan Gaddis' hands now is because he's let that ball travel, let it get deep on him, go the other way. And you see where the second baseman is playing now. He's even crept to his left to compensate for what Gaddis is trying to do. Now you've got the hole up the middle open.
Very interesting. Well, the first time up, he hit the ground ball right over second base, and the second baseman was waiting for him. Now look where he is. Of course, it is a double play situation, but still, as you say, it's because he hit that last one to right field.
Yeah, the exact same situation we saw previously with Preston Tucker getting that drop shot in left field.
In for a strike, and it's 1-1. That's pretty dramatic, though, the way he moved the defense around with one at bat.
I bet you Evan can't believe that ball actually broke back over the plate.
Yep.
It's way outside.
Big cut there, and it's 1-2. It's ironic because one of the factors when the Astros made the trade with Atlanta for Gaddis was the fact that he is such a pull hitter. And it maybe isn't a large factor to have the Crawford boxes so close in left field, because when he hits them, they usually would go further than that.
That is very true.
But nonetheless, he might get a few here at Minute Maid Park that wouldn't be homers in other parks. And now he's emphasizing going the other way. But eventually, if he keeps doing what he's been doing, he'll hit some shots to left.
Yeah, as a hitter, if your mindset is to go the other way with the fastball and hit the mistake off-speed pitches out to left field, you're in a good spot.
Well, he expanded there and struck out. All-star balloting in the American League. Here's the way it shapes up in the early balloting with Trout, liked by Kane and Gordon. The Kansas City votes are in.
Plenty of them, too.
All the voting is online now. It's not at the ballparks anymore. Chris Carter has grounded out and he's walked. That's strike 1. Kansas City club has certainly been solid. More lightning out there in the distance.
That was a good one.
The Royals are 29-18 for a .617 winning percentage. The Astros have a .612 winning percentage, second in the American League. No balls, 2 strikes for Quintana. Samuel Deduno had a minor league rehab outing last night. He had a rough night with his control. He walked 4 in 1 inning, throwing more than 30 pitches, so he'll need some more work. This will be the 100th pitch coming up for Quintana. He went 6 innings in his last outing against the Twins. He lost that game. He gave up 6 earned runs. Good bounce back game for him today. 1-2.
Picked a bad time to pitch against the Minnesota Twins.
Sure did. They've been hot. And earlier this season, his third start was at Detroit. He gave up 9 earned runs in 4 innings. So that explains his high ERA, those 2 games. 2-2. VR is on deck. Carter's down on strikes. That's 7 punch-outs for Quintana. VR has delivered the only run of this game. Sacrifice fly in the 4th inning. Grounded out of the 2nd. He had a green light on a 3-0 count. Swung and missed at that one. Took the count to 3-2, but still delivered the run when Tucker scored on his fly ball to left field. And the throw goes on Tucker to first base. Jason Castro's on deck. Astros outside the AL West against the teams in the East and Central are 8-8 so far. He can really balance on that left leg, can't he? Dangle that right leg up in the air.
Got some critics in the stands on that pickoff move. I don't like it. Some hang time. A casual toss over. Nice to see the Astros tack on a couple more runs here and alleviate some pressure for Dallas Keuchel and the guys in the bullpen if they have to come in.
Strike to VR. Steven Strasburg is on the 15-day disabled list for the Nationals. Neck stiffness. Under foul, and it's 0-2.
Kind of opens you up to a couple of interesting jokes.
Yeah.
You get a stiff neck and a high ERA.
Well, yeah, you can get some whiplash from watching those home run balls.
You read it perfectly, Brownie. I appreciate you.
And he's given up some shots this year. A liner to left. That one hits for the wall. Here's Tucker going to third. Stop sign there. Throwing to second, and they've got VR and a run down, and he's tagged out for the 3rd out of the inning. That is costly. No runs, 2 hits, and a man left for the Astros after 6, 1-0 Houston.
Steel dealers into some of the nastiness that Keuchel has brought to the ballpark today. Painting that outside corner on Adam LaRoche. Tough left-on-left matchup. And in knowing that, LaRoche trying to protect out there, gets a slider that just keeps going away, and he's unable to attack it. Leads to that 2nd strikeout for Adam LaRoche on the day. And Keuchel's a tough guy to face anyways. Then you got to go out there left on left, and it gets that much harder.
I bet it does. 29,720 the paid attendance. LaRoche is 0 for 2. He looks at strike one. Good crowd for a Saturday. Crowds are getting bigger now as we get closer to school being out. It is out in some areas. No balls, 2 strikes. Tomorrow, the Sunday finale of this series starts at 1:10. Roberto Hernandez and John Danks do the pitching. And then the Baltimore Orioles are in town next week. Struck him out for the 3rd time. That ties his career high, a 9 strikeout game. 3rd time Keuchel has done it.
Well, if it doesn't look like Adam LaRoche is having fun, it's because he's not. This has not been a good matchup for him tonight. Keuchel has been masterful in location, pitch selection, execution.
With the 1-0 lead, he faces Alexi Ramirez, who's 0 for 2. Rolled out to Altuve. And 2 outs quickly here in the 7th inning.
Make memories at Astros ball game with family-friendly activities at every Sunday home game presented by Kroger. The next Kroger Family Sunday is tomorrow when the Astros take on the White Sox. For more information or to purchase tickets, visit astros.com/Sundays or call 1-877-9-ASTROS. Get you some Dippin' Dots.
Gordon Beckham's the batter. You wouldn't have any of those during the game, of course.
Not that I'd admit to.
They coat your throat.
Do they?
Bad for broadcasting.
See, this is the knowledge I need, Brownie.
1-1, little inside trick. Do not eat dairy products before broadcasting. But immediately afterwards, rush out and grab one. Yeah. Carter's there. It's a 1-2-3 inning. That's a 7-pitch frame for Dallas Keuchel. He leads it 1-0. Now at Southwest.com. And by Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit us at Geico.com or call 1-800-947-AUTO. Tight 1-0 ball game. It is not pouring runs, it's pouring rain at Minute Maid Park.
Oh boy, that doesn't look like fun.
It's a gusher out there.
Man.
Looks like the northwest part of the city is also getting hammered right now. The last thing Houston needs at the moment. Jason Castro leads it off. He's 0 for 2. Spins on that one and fouls it for strike one. The Astros have lost a couple of base runners, thrown out on the bases. Evan Gattis in the 4th, Jonathan Villar in the 6th inning. They try to add to their offense here. Jake Petrichka is warming up for the White Sox. Thunder, lightning in the distance. Fly ball out to center field. Eaton broke back. Now he comes in. 1 out. There has been quite an accumulation, hasn't there?
Yeah, it's tough to see. Just amazing. And there's usually pretty impressive thunderstorms and rainstorms that I've seen in the years I've played and lived here in Houston, but this is epic.
Marwin Gonzalez 0 for 2.
My daughters still talk about some of the thunderstorms that they experienced here in Houston.
They haven't experienced any in Southern California.
No, if I could ship some of this out west, I'd be
yeah.
There'd be a lot of happy people out there.
Might help with the drought. Did you hear the vital statistics on the amount of rainfall Houston had during the big storm?
I did not hear the final. Yeah, what is it?
Came from the Harris County Flood District. Shot foul. 0-2. 162 billion gallons of water fell in the Houston area.
What?
That would fill the Astrodome 511 times.
511?
Yep.
I think we may have lost Bart on that line drive.
You okay, Bart?
I hope he's okay.
I'm good.
All right.
Back on your feet yet?
No, I'm out in the Crawford boxes actually. So
whew, thank goodness.
There's a hit to left field on the 0-2 for Marwin Gonzalez.
Where do you think Gio wanted that ball?
Bouncing. Not through the left side of the infield, though.
Just a better job of hitting that pitch.
Yep.
Just a little low stung 2-iron right there in the left.
It's hit number 5, and it brings out Robin Ventura. Trichka's been warming up, the right-hander. Right-handed hitting Marisnik 2 up next. 1-run lead for Houston. Quintana has worked very efficiently today. He retired 8 in a row to start this game, then had a couple of walks, didn't get up a hit until the 4th. Jonathan Villar's sac fly, the only run he has surrendered, and he trails 1-0 as he walks off the mound. Back in a moment. Trichka. He has been their 8th inning guy, coming in here in the 7th. He's seen a lot of work lately. Trichka will be facing Jake Marisnik and then George Springer with 1 out, 1 on. 0-1, 1 save, a 4.11 ERA, and a heavy ground ball pitcher.
About 14 saves in that rookie year last year. A lot of guys with saves out of that bullpen. Hence the reason they went out and got Robertson. Signed him as a free agent. Still a pretty good live arm, obviously a pretty good sinker. Seems to be a breach in the wall out there. People out there in center field in the Crawford boxes are getting a little wet.
Yes, drenched. Now it's Marisnik batting. Petrichka in. He's 26 years old from Northfield, Minnesota. Marisnik showing bunt. Pulls it back, and it's ball one. Jake walked, stole a base in the third inning, hit a fly ball to center field in the fifth. Petrichka 1-6 last year with a 2.96 ERA. Pitched 67 times. He had 14 saves last season. Line shot into left. Marisnik rocks one. Gonzalez to second. And it's first and second, one out for Springer now.
It's good to see from Jake. Got to get that right-on-right matchup. You check the numbers. Jake Marisnik coming into this game hitting .318 against righties. Gets himself a fastball, rips it. First and second, things happening here late again in the game for the Houston Astros offense.
Now a big chance to build on this 1-0 lead. Two men on, George Springer at the plate. Springer has a strikeout and 2 walks today. Petrichka got a save in game 1 of the doubleheader Thursday in Baltimore, striking out the only man he faced. That's strike 1 to Springer. Jose Altuve on deck. The Astros have 6 hits, all of them singles. White Sox have 4 hits, all of them singles. Springer fouls it. It's 0-2 to George. Last night the Astros were held to 3 runs on 10 hits. They had 3 doubles in that game, but no home runs. They lead the majors in long balls with 66. They're 5th in runs scored in the American League. Dan Jennings warming up for the White Sox, a lefty. Turned back towards second on Marwin Gonzalez. Springer takes a ball, and it's 1-2 for George. Petrichka was drafted in the 2nd round in 2010 by the Sox. More thunder in the distance. Strike 3 call. 2 outs. That's the 8th punch out for White Sox pitching.
Follow the Astros all season with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at Bat for your smartphone or tablet.
Jose Altuve is 0 for 3 today, trying for a big 2-out hit. Soto comes out in front of the plate to give signs to the infielders. Boy, has it been pouring.
Is that Oakland Coliseum?
Ooh. So intense out there.
It's incredible.
Up and into Altuve. There's ball 1. Well, folks were advised to stay in the Toyota Center during the Rockets game when it was a Monday night that this storm hit so violently. Line shot to left field. Cabrera back. Cabrera with the reaching catch on the warning track to win the Astros 7th inning. With no runs on 2 hits, 2 men left, 1-0 Houston after 7.
Mountain Dew Energy Power Player of the game. Hasn't been much going on with the bench, so we're going to go with the pitcher. Dallas Keuchel having himself a great afternoon here at Minute Maid Park. Has all his pitchers working. He's got 7 shutout innings under his belt so far. Career high 9 strikeouts he just tied. Just been a joy to watch after coming back from that tough loss out there in Baltimore, proving his worth yet again.
Shooting for win number 7. He has the 1-0 lead, moving to the 8th inning now. Giovanni Soto ready to lead it off. Soto is 1 for 2. Bounces this one to VR. Off Carter's mitt, safe at first. So an error leading off this 8th inning, allowing Soto to reach will give the White Sox an opening now. Second error of the day by the Astros. We'll see if Carter gets the error. VR got an error in the 2nd inning on a Ramirez grounder.
You know, when you're watching a guy like maybe Stephen Curry in the NBA, who has all that time in the world, standing at the 3-point line, nobody around him, takes his time, shoots, usually makes it, right? Right here, Jonathan VR, plenty of time, checking out the seams on the baseball. You better make darn sure you make a good throw.
It's an error on VR. Throw drifted. Pinch runner at first for Soto is former Astro J.V. Schuck.
And if you want to get respect and credibility amongst your teammates, yeah, you want it from coaching staffs, yeah, you want it from front office, but those 24 other guys in that clubhouse, you make the routine plays, especially in a tight ball game late.
Carlos Sanchez takes strike 1. Sanchez is 0 for 2. Keuchel pitched around that 2-out error by VR in the 2nd inning. He got Beckham for the 3rd out. Now a leadoff error. Third time the White Sox have placed the leadoff man on in an inning. 0-2 the count. VR now has made 8 errors this season. This is his 30th game.
Get you a ground ball, turn a double play, redeem yourself.
Time was called. Keuchel holding the ball a long time. Schuck is 4 for 4 in steals. He's tied for the White Sox club lead in stolen bases. Jason Castro having a good year throwing out base runners. He's gone down 31%. One and 2.
I'd go out on the limb and say this is probably one of the toughest batteries to run on in all of baseball.
Yeah.
Keuchel being left-handed, he's quick to home, and then Castro got a great arm, great footwork.
Keuchel allowed only 1 stolen base all of last year.
Thanks for making me sound smart, Brian.
Yeah.
That's a pretty low number.
We're on it. Struck him out. That's 10 for a new single game high in the majors for Dallas Keuchel.
Got it on that slider. Comes out of his hand, looks like it's going to be a decent pitch to hit. You start your swing, and immediately it darts down and in.
Adam Eaton is 0 for 3 with 2 punch outs. Bonifacio on deck. Well, that rain is still coming down hard. Strike to Eaton. Jose Quintana threw 110 pitches. 72 were strikes. 17 of 26 first pitch strikes for the young lefty, who in 6 1/3 innings allowed 5 hits, 1 run, walking 4, fanning 7. Keuchel's thrown 21 of 28 first pitch strikes. That's a second pitch ball, and it's 1-1. Liner caught. VR's got a double play. Throwing to Carter. Shuck took off, was caught halfway. And it's a 5-3 double play and an 8-pitch 8th inning for Dallas Keuchel. The Astros lead 1-0.
Years ago today, the Astros set a franchise record with 25 hits, including an NL record 23 singles. In a 16-5 win over the Atlanta Braves, Enos Cabell knocks out 3 hits, while Bob Watson and Cesar Cedeno each have 2. There's some breaking going on. Let's see what a box score like that looks like. There's a lot of happy guys in that lineup.
Cliff Johnson with 4 knocks.
Even Gil Rondon got in there with a knock. Beautiful.
Leon Roberts has been a hitting coach. Quite a productive game. 1-0 Astros as we go to the bottom of the 8th now, and lefty reliever Dan Jennings comes in. He's 1-1. His ERA 6.53. Well, lefty hitters have done a number on him. 316. He'll be facing lefty hitting Preston Tucker, who got 2 hits off the lefty Quintana. Tucker 2 for 3 in this game. He has scored the only run. Gaddis and Carter to follow. So we'll see how long Jennings stays in with 2 big right-handed thumpers to follow. Bouncer to the right side. LaRoche tossing, and close play at first goes the White Sox way. 1 out.
Good hustle from the youngster. Running hard always puts pressure on that defense.
He did just beat Tucker. Very close play. Right-hander Daniel Webb has been warming up, but there's no sign that he's coming in this game right now. Evan Gaddis is 1 for 3. There's Webb. Jennings worked 2/3 of an inning last night, and he was the winning pitcher in the 11th. He got Tucker and Gaddis in that game last night with 2 men on. Gaddis looks at ball 1. So something of an advantage as far as Gaddis is concerned to see the same reliever twice within a span of 24 hours. Might be a little learning curve.
Yeah, you don't have to dig too far into the memory bank.
He looks at ball 2. It's 2-0. Thunder is still pretty loud, isn't it?
Sure is.
Infield has overshifted on Gaddis again. That's a strike to him, and it's 2-1. He's seen a little bit different alignment every time up today.
Sure has. Back in the cover two after going man to man.
Yeah. Well, he may see a nickel later on. Soft foul ball goes out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Evan Gaddis.
I'm going to steal that one from you, Brownie. Every time I see a infielder out in shallow outfield somewhere, that's going to be the nickel defense.
Okay.
Don't let him beat you deep.
Well, that's what Jennings is saying right now about Gaddis. Gaddis with 10 home runs, tied for the club lead. He might be beating him deep. Gaddis with number 11. 2-0 Astros. 31 runs batted in for Evan Gaddis.
That's what you want the caveman to do, is just club some baseballs out of here. And there's 2 things that doesn't matter where you shift to, you can't defend. One's a walk, the other one's a home run. Good job waiting back on that slider, down and in, but you can see that front side opened up a little bit, threw the barrel at it, launched it.
It's a very big run. Now Chris Carter with strike 1. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. Gaddis 2 for 4 today. 67 homers for the major league leading Astros. He lifted that low pitch. Carter takes it, and it's 1-1. White Sox will have their 2, 3, 4 hitters due up in the 9th. Bonifacio, Garcia, and Cabrera. Foul away, 1 and 2 with the 1-run lead. That's difficult. Well, this is quite a big run that Gaddis has provided. But nobody has stirred in the Astros bullpen. Could be back-to-back complete games for Dallas Keuchel. 2-2.
Gives you a good idea how much confidence AJ has in Dallas Keuchel. He's got a great bullpen out there to back up what Keuchel's done. But I think that home run by Gaddis is kind of reinforcing the fact that he's going to throw Keuchel out there and let him go for that second complete game.
This will add to the mix as Carter goes deep. Back to back. Number 8 for Carter. 3-0 Houston. 7-game hitting streak for Chris Carter.
How about leaving the lefty to face 2 right-handed power hitters?
That didn't work out.
Kind of an interesting choice. We saw Webb wasn't getting loose, but again, a slider staying up in the zone, just coming back into that happy spot. But you got to give credit to Gaddis and Carter for going down and getting these pitches too.
Much so.
Oh man, as much thunder as there's been outside, it's nice to see a little bit in here.
Yeah, the Thunder came inside this inning. Now Jonathan Villar, this crowd is buzzing. And Villar looks at ball 1. Third time the Astros have hit back-to-back homers. They did it twice in the same game back on May 2nd here.
68 bombs,
68 home runs.
Woo.
This is game number 50. And both Gaddis and Carter have gotten hot at the same time. Swing by VR and a 1-2 count. Jennings had not allowed a home run this season in 21 innings. And a swing by VR for a strikeout, out number 2. There's a flash flood warning in this area now.
They say high pop-ups, towering pop-ups, towering drives bring rain. Maybe these Astros can be the bringers of thunder.
They have brought it with the power sticks here. Castro's 0 for 3 in this game. That's ball 1. It's been puzzling why this club hasn't hit better at home. Maybe this is the start of something.
Hit pretty well last homestand. Maybe they're continuing it now, like you're saying.
Inside on Castro, and it's 2-0 to Jason.
It's got to be just a matter of time before they do start doing it at home, because when they're on the road, they do swing the bats extremely well. This is a great place to hit.
You were a switch hitter. Do you think this park favors left-handed batters?
Not necessarily. I think it favors those guys that have the ability to go opposite field for power, no matter what side of the batter's box you're on.
Two-1 on Castro on that back-to-back home run game May 2nd against Seattle. It was Gaddis and Rasmus, and it was Altuve and Valbuena, both in the same game. 2-2 to Castro with Marwin Gonzalez on deck. There's somebody up now in the Astros bullpen, but not throwing. Keuchel has provided that kind of relief for that bullpen after 8 pitchers worked in last night's game. Castro's down on strikes, but Gaddis delivered number 11 on a 2-2 count off lefty Dan Jennings. Then a few minutes later, it was a 2-2 count, and Carter thumped one off Jennings. 3-0 Houston, moving to the 9th. Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Colby Rasmus checks into left field. Preston Tucker, the starting left fielder, was 2 for 4 in the game. Rasmus coming in for the top of the 9th inning to play left. Dallas Keuchel going for his second career shutout. His first was May 13th, 2014 against the Rangers, and trying for his second straight complete game. The Astros have just the one complete game for their entire staff this year. This will be his 100th pitch, and it's Bonifacio leading it off. He's 0 for 3. Keuchel led the American League with 5 complete games last year. There's strike one. Luke Gregerson's warming up for Houston. Altuve. 1 out.
I don't think Luke needs to be very aggressive about how quickly he warms up. Pump the brakes a little bit out there in the bullpen because Dallas Keuchel's in command.
It's 10 ground ball outs for him. Not necessarily a high number for him through 8 1/3. Javi Garcia is 1 for 3. There's strike one. And Keuchel has been so important with what he's done for this club this year. Now, perhaps just a couple of pitches away from being a 7-game winner. Two.
First pitch cutter, change up, swing and a miss. Obviously, Orioles having a pretty good year, sitting at 327 right now.
Felix Hernandez leads the American League and wins with 8. Off the plate, 1 and 2. Keuchel's in a group tied at 6 wins. Sonny Gray, Michael Pineda, Carrasco with Cleveland, and Burley with Toronto. Bounce to Keuchel. 2 outs.
Time now for the Whataburger, what a play, and it was a couple of bombs in that 8th inning for the Houston Astros. First one off the bat of Gaddis, slider down and in, scooped it, launched it. A couple of big men going at it. Chris Carter right behind him, gets a similar pitch. Barrels it up, launches it. A couple of big men bashing forearms right there. Great to see the thunder inside this building going off for the Houston Astros.
And the fans are making some thunder with their hands right now. Melky Cabrera was strike one. He's 1 for 3. If this is a shutout, it'll be the 3rd for the Astros this year, and Keuchel will have been the starting pitcher in all 3. It's 1-1. White Sox have been shut out 3 times. The Twins have done it twice to them. Win number 31 on the line for the Astros. That's a shot foul. 1 and 2. Now what a nice rest for the bullpen provided by Dallas Keuchel.
Amen.
His ERA when the game started was 1.98. He has allowed the Sox just 4 singles. In the dirt for a ball. 2-2 to Melky Cabrera with LaRoche on deck. The Astros have won 7 of their last 9 home games. These home crowds have been growing, and they've been getting more and more responsive. Good hard foul.
I'll tell you what, they've been getting spoiled too. This is a great game.
Very good pace was set by both these starting pitchers, Quintana for the Sox and Keuchel. He's stranded a White Sox runner at 3rd with 1 out in the 3rd inning. Fouled away. That's been the White Sox biggest threat of the day. Soto got a leadoff single, then took second on a pass ball. A Sanchez grounder got him to 3rd, but then Keuchel struck out Eaton and Bonifacio. Foul back.
Melky just delaying the inevitable.
be the 8th pitch to Melky. And he got him. Strikeout number 11 for Dallas Keuchel, who goes to 7-1. It's his third.